Welcome back to the channel, and with the recent release of Fallout TV series on Amazon Prime, there's many people that are finding Fallout for the first time, which is completely surprising to me because I've played this game to death, or games to death, but many of you are finding this universe for the first time. And it's making you a little bit curious about the Fallout games. You're coming to the TV series first and going, oh, this is based on games. I'm a gamer. I might have a look at this. So we're going to try and answer the question, which Fallout should you play first if you're new to the Fallout franchise and haven't played the games before? Should be good. Let's do it. So before we get started, if you do want to investigate the games a little bit further, we have a huge amount of Fallout content on this channel. In fact, this channel was founded on Fallout in its inception. And so if you want to check out more stuff after watching this video and you're still not sure, there are plenty of content on all the Fallout games on this channel. So there you go. There's a little bit of self-promotion, but also it might help you if you're still sitting on the fence. The second thing I want to say is that this is my personal opinion, and I've tried to approach it from the point of view of somebody that is brand new to the franchise. But you know, it is my opinion, and I know we've got a very vibrant Fallout community, and they will disagree with me on some of the things I'm about to say. But you know, it's up to you to make your own judgment on which game you should play first, and it really depends on the gamer and where you are on the Fallout continuum and what your experience is in the past. So without further ado, I'm going to stop waffling and I'm going to get into the discussion. So before we get into the games, let's just set the kind of scene for what Fallout actually is, and it is a post-apocalyptic role-playing series of video games with action role-playing at the same time. Now, essentially, there is actually 6 games. There's only really 4 that have been done by Bethesda and Obsidian, and we'll talk about the Obsidian collaboration with Bethesda in a bit. But essentially, you're in this kind of post-apocalyptic world set during the 21st, 22nd, 23rd centuries, which is sometimes described as an atomicpunk retrofuturistic setting. That's a mouthful, but it's very much influenced by post-war culture of the 1950s in the US, the United States of America, and you are it's a single-player game. And you're in the wastelands, the wilderness, after the bombs have dropped, after the Great War, wandering around and doing all kinds of missions and meeting all kinds of people. And it is be warned, it is very addictive, number 1. It is very immersive, and number 2. And there's 4 different games that I'm going to talk about today, and they all have their merits. Like I said, this is pretty much going to be my opinion. If I was a brand new player to the Fallout franchise, which one would I pick? So that's the kind of skinny on what the game's all about. And yeah, the way this game series is designed is phenomenal, and it's just getting better and better and better the more games that they put out, in my opinion. And the game mechanics are getting better and better. So we have 4 different games in the series, starting with Fallout 3, and then we work through Fallout New Vegas, Fallout 4, and then Fallout 76, which is the newest game, which is released a few years back, I think 2019 from memory, somewhere around there. So we have 4 different games you can choose from, depending on what your preference is in the games that you want to play. Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas have much older kind of mechanics. Fallout 4 and Fallout 76 have much more up-to-date mechanics, game mechanics and graphics and whatnot. Fallout 4 is about to get a major update, a next-gen update, so that we can play it at 60 frames. But the majority of these games you're going to be playing around the 30 frame mark, I guess, which is kind of traditional for video games. I don't think it will affect your playing experience whatsoever. It certainly hasn't bothered me. I've played thousands of hours in all these games before next gen came along, so I wouldn't worry about that too much. Let's start with the first version, and that would be Fallout 3, which is the game that a lot of people regard as the best Fallout game ever, and I think that's probably because it's their first ever introduction to this type of game. And yeah, I think Fallout 3 is a phenomenal game, but for me personally there are other games that I prefer to play. Next in the series is Fallout New Vegas. Now, Fallout New Vegas was done by Obsidian. It's the only game that's done by another studio, and there was reasons for that. Bethesda was on a time crunch, and they were working on other projects, and so I think they were working on Skyrim at the time, so they outsourced Fallout New Vegas to another studio. And this for me holds fond memories, and probably in the way that Fallout 3 holds fond memories for many people, in that Fallout New Vegas was the first Fallout game I ever played, and I played it to death on my Xbox 360 and absolutely loved that game. I've got to say though, Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas, for me, the old mechanics take a bit of getting used to, and so if you're looking for a game that has new mechanics and will really suck you into the franchise, I would recommend, this is my top recommendation, is Fallout 4. For me, Fallout 4 is my favourite game in the franchise. I've got about, I don't know, 3,000 plus hours in this game, and there's a whole lot of reasons why I love Fallout 4 above all the rest, and I'll talk to you about those now. For me, just the way that the Fallout 4 is designed, the look of the game, the feel of the game, but more importantly the game mechanics and the gunplay, and obviously then they added a building component to this game, which is just taking your Fallout experience to a different place, a different level. But Fallout 4 for me is just my favourite Fallout, and I think that's more because I've made the transition and into the newer gen games. And when I say newer gen, I'm talking PlayStation 4 and Xbox One rather than the new generation of consoles. But yeah, this game just spoke to me, and you know, if you play any game, regardless of whether it's a Fallout game or another series, there are certain games that you just feel are your game and the one that you love, and Fallout 4 has done that for me. I just love the NPCs in this game. I love just the thought process of the whole, how the building system integrates, and the way the map is, the way that you navigate around the world. And yeah, you're going to be doing a lot of walking, by the way. In a Fallout series, you don't get to drive, you don't get to ride motorcycles or bikes or anything. You have to walk absolutely everywhere. No riding horses or Brahmin or anything. You have to walk everywhere. So you can fast travel in a Fallout game, but you're going to miss a heck of a lot. And the thing about Fallout 4 is I am still finding new stuff even now. It was released in 2015 from memory, and yeah, in 2024 I started playing it again last year and absolutely loved being back in that universe. So for me, Fallout 4 is the game that I would recommend if you're starting off on the franchise. You can always go back and play the other games, or if you're more of an old school gamer and you like that old game mechanic, start at the beginning with Fallout 3 and work your way through. So let's now move on to Fallout 76. So given that Fallout is a huge open world game, Bethesda decided to release Fallout 76, which is a completely different experience as far as the 4 games go. With the last 3 games that we spoke about, they're all single player games. You're on your own, you're in the wilderness, you're in the one in the Wasteland, and you're wandering around meeting people, doing quests, looting, shooting, doing all that stuff. The concept of Fallout 76 is something that the community had been asking for a long time, and that was the ability to play Fallout with your friends. And so Bethesda came up with Fallout 76, and the map is 5 times bigger than Fallout 4, which is absolutely huge, by the way. And I believe they've just added a new segment to the map recently. So this game is absolutely huge. It's a service-based game, meaning that there's always something happening in the game. But be aware that for the first time ever in a Fallout game, there are other players in your map and in your game and on your server, and you can run into them. Now, you can also party up with your friends and play Fallout 76 with your friends as well. And the way that all the mechanics work in that game are fantastic. It was a little bit of a rocky start to that game. It was pretty glitchy when it was first introduced in the beta stage, and even when it was launched, it was pretty glitchy. And Todd Howard did ask us to break the game, and break the game we did in the beta stage. I think within the first couple of hours, the community broke the game completely. But yeah, Fallout 76 is much more along the lines of look and feel of a Fallout 4. But it is a live, open world game, and a lot of people that are kind of hardcore Fallout fans don't like it for the fact that it has gone away from being a single player experience, and it's much more of a joint co-op series. I must admit, I've played through the whole campaign, and the campaign is big, huge in this game, as you can imagine, with the size of the map. I've played through that solo without any troubles at all. So you can play it solo if you like, don't get me wrong, but it does give you that opportunity to play around with your friends, and we did that, and it was a huge amount of fun. Although some of the issues that you're going to get with 76 is the fact that, like me, if I'm connecting with my friends in the US, there are some server lag issues at times. Also be warned, with 76, it is much more of a survival type Fallout game. Now, Fallout games you can play in normal mode and also survival mode if you like, and both are real fun. Although survival mode is a harder and tougher kind of experience, but a lot of people absolutely love being right on that edge of surviving in the wastelands. So up to you guys what you would like to play. But for me, like I said earlier, I would recommend that if you're starting out on your Fallout journey, pull up either if you prefer a game that is in the kind of newer genre, Fallout 4, and if you prefer an older type game, for me, Fallout New Vegas, because it's the first game I played, but Fallout 3 also is phenomenal. So I hope this helped you make a decision on what Fallout game you would prefer to play first up. If it didn't, there's plenty of content on this channel to help you make your mind up. You can watch some gameplay if you like. I've got lots of tips and game guides and all kinds of stuff for each of these games. So if you need some help, by all means, check out my Fallout universe playlists. There's tons and tons of content there. Guys, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time on Gaming for XP. Oh, see ya.